Welcome to Encouragement Thursday for April 15th, 2021. This month, we're growing in emotional intelligence by looking at the four components of EQ. So let's get going. So far, we've looked at self-awareness and self-management. Growing in self-management is not turning emotions off, but it's learning to manage them in a way that allows you to enjoy the positive ones and learn from the negative ones. And that will help you grow in your self-management. You can go back, of course, and look at any videos that I've done by scrolling down or simply going to my website, markgordon.ca, and you can find all my videos there. All right, now that you are more aware of self-awareness and you are learning to manage your emotions, this week I want to encourage you to grow in social awareness. Now, social awareness is simply understanding how your words and actions affect the people around you. There is always cause and effect. When you're feeling insecure or defensive, it affects the people around you in a very real way. So whether you're at home or at work, you can bring a positive or a negative impact to the environment by simply reading it and making a choice. You can actually bring life to it. If you're not aware of how you're impacting it, you could actually do the opposite. So I have 3 points, 3 ways that you can develop social awareness. Point 1, ask questions. I know it's risky to ask sometimes because you don't necessarily want to hear the answer, but it's important. And sometimes, it feels awkward, just simply feels awkward, but it is important to understand. By asking questions, you'll know how your room is interpreting your actions. Make sure your motive is asking to seek understanding, though, not to just make a point. That's important. Ask someone you know and trust how you come across in social environments. You might want to just ask them and say, hey, when I'm in a social setting, do I seem insecure or am I looking confident? And they can help coach you through that process. And you can learn about yourself that way. All right, my next point is simple. Develop empathy. Now, when I say simple, I mean simple is not easy, but it's simple. Empathy is putting yourself in another person's shoes. Ask yourself, how would I feel if I were in their situation? You might draw on your own experience to answer this question. For example, let's imagine that you see somebody that is at an event for the very first time. You can think back to when you were at that event for the very first time. Did you feel awkward? What did you feel like when the first person made you feel welcome? When you do that, you can grow empathy for that person and be the first to go and greet them and make them feel welcome at the event, even when it's uncomfortable, because you're empathizing with their position. And when you grow empathy, what you do is you become more socially aware. You're more aware of the people that are in the room and what they might be going through. Then act accordingly. Be that first one to go and ask. There is not a scenario that you could think of that you can't do this exercise in. So I want to encourage you this week to really develop empathy for other people. My final point for this week is simple. It's to put others first. Yep, put others first. Putting your needs on the shelf, at least until you can gain awareness of how others are being impacted by whatever you're going through with them at the moment. By putting your own needs on the shelf and taking that others first approach, what you're doing is you're growing social awareness and you're actually becoming a person that people will trust. It's a really good exercise to do. The concept of preferring others is foreign in society today, unfortunately. It's so refreshing when I see somebody that actually puts someone else first. There's a concept that says givers gain. What that simply means is that by putting others first and being generous with them, you actually will have a better result in your own life. Giver's gain is simply putting others first, and you will then find the gain from that. You're going to be rewarded because you've done that. And that's a great way to do it. So this week, I encourage and challenge you to grow in your emotional intelligence by being more socially aware. Ask questions. Ask them how they're feeling, how comfortable they are. Develop empathy. Put yourself in their shoes. And then maybe put others first. Just put yourself on the shelf for a minute so that you can put other people ahead of yourself. I want to encourage you, the more that you put these tools and these tips that I'm giving you into action, the more you will grow in emotional intelligence and the more you will be able to find flourishing in your life. So remember, my book, Relationship Matters, is now available. So just go to markgordon.ca, click on Order Book, and I encourage you, it'll show you where all the copies, where you can get them. And I want to just encourage you even to buy one for a friend or for your kids if they're adults, and just other people. That's a great way to put others first. Buy them copies first. And I want to get this book into as many hands as possible, not because I want to sell books, but because I want the tools in those books to be able to help people. So there you go for this week. I want to encourage you to go encourage somebody today. Phone them, text them, call them, even share this video, and we will see you next week.